Coach, let's talk about Brickgate. I don't know
Mhm,
if you saw my video. I'm gonna send it to you, or you can you probably subscribe to my channel,
mhm,
my YouTube channel. There was this whole, for those of you all who are not familiar, and I'm sure you all are, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know how long it was. Maybe it was within the month, I
mhm,
think. Sister, uh, who's an influencer. Now we have more information about her. She was a social media influencer, socialite, and she came online and she made some allegations. She made a couple allegations. One that got her banned from TikTok that they're still trying to prove. She made a claim that she was hit in the face with a brick by a black man, and the reason why was because she wouldn't share her phone number. Now, immediately I said, "Well, that's no reason to hit a woman," but I know that there are always more sides to a coin. And so in
mhm,
order to make uh intelligent hypotheses or come to an intelligent conclusion, I have to hear everything. But what got my attention was she said black men don't protect black women. That's the shit that pissed me off. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So this now causes a barrage, everybody, outpouring on Black Twitter, and I call them feminazis, Coach. The feminazis just came out strong after black men.
mhm,
Oh, oh, they ain't shit. All they this, all they that. And I'm like, we don't even know this chick, Coach. What you talking about? So I did a whole Brickgate because my whole thing is I don't condone violence, but I understand like Bruce Leroy. Sometimes to be the last dragon, you got to fight so you can get your glow. You know what I
mhm,
mean?
mhm.
I ain't mad, and I get, like you said, violence is never off the table. What did Kevin Samuel say? Is always a low level threat of violence when men are discussing or men are talking. It can be slightly
Mhm,
combative or contentious.
mhm,
But women were saying that regardless, it morphed, right? Women were saying it doesn't matter how a woman's acting. Black men should protect. Now, on my when y'all go back an episode, you'll see how I had Shahrazad Ali up. You'll see it, Coach, and she was saying, "That ain't it. You have to be in a certain space." Erica Lachey, she was speaking to you, Coach. She said, "When you have a bodyguard will tell you, don't go in this area. They will remove you, and if you neglect to listen, they'll tell you by contract, I'm not really at liberty. I can't protect you there because you're outside of my range of my sphere of protection." So what I'm saying is, people, black sisters, it's not okay for you to get arbitrarily hit. Nobody's saying that.
mhm.
But at the same time, two things. All men don't operate up under the norms and values that they're going to see a woman and just jump in, because we know a lot of people have been killed like that.
Yep.
And then number two, you have to function within a certain behavioral standard for us to even offer that protection.
That's right.
Don't just jump out here. And then she was saying, Coach, she didn't need black men. Black men were obsolete. They got her in video saying, I don't need black men. It's
Mhm,
women. Well, it wasn't all that when your face was swole.
mhm.
Coach, can you give us clarification on that whole?
Um, I immediately, I when that came out, I gave it about 12 hours. Then I went on Facebook, and my video got taken down, but it's okay. Um, um, probably had about 120 people on that live, and it was I went there because we unfairly get this narrative that we don't protect women, but there has to be an accountability list that is checked off to see, are you worthy. See, this whole universal notion, both aspects of men being worthy of every woman to submit and women being worthy of every man to protect. There's no universal code that says you are owed anything.
Facts.
Nothing. So you have to earn your place, you see, or you have to have the presentation that is something that fits the narrative that says she's innocent. We'll protect that. For example, if you saw Miss Cicely Tyson being assaulted, there's no question as to how we would rise up to defend Mother Cicely Tyson. If Mother Felicia Rashad was being assaulted, there's no question as to what we would do to defend Mother Felicia Rashad. Because one or two, they're not, number one, they're not in the environment that they are picking or poking fights with men. Okay. I grew up from the era where my father and mother, I never saw my mother curse my father. I never saw her speak negatively towards him. I never saw her speak demeaningly towards him. On the flip of that, I never saw my father talk to my mother, call her out of name. I never saw my father hit my mother. I never saw these energies. Okay. So I will tell you this. I have seen my mother arguing with my dad about missing a turn. She kept going on and on. My dad was driving. I was probably like 10 years old. My dad was driving. He looked over and was like, all right, and she said, you know what? You're right, Sam. You're right. You're right. And she let it go, and that's all I saw from interactions between men and women. You knew when, look, I went too far. Nowadays, you see a lot of energy where women say things to men to where we respond to one another with violence for these things. For example, when a woman says, suck my D and shut up, bitch ass nigga, and all this thing, and fuck you, and this, we don't turn the other cheek to other men unless it's a situation to where we already assess the potential of violence and it's greater than what we are willing to commit to. We have the ability to logically break down the environment to say, you know what? I'm going to lose this situation. Let me fall back and let him have it. Okay. Or we know when to elevate these women, just jump straight forward and they say the most harsh things. But our responses to these things is violence. When men get tired of talking, we go into our nature, which is to project physical energy. I'm not condoning men hitting women, but I am trying to be informative. So when women say, oh, there's nobody to protect, I need to find out, what am I protecting and why? I need to find out, what did you do in this situation? Why are you over here? That's, for example, as a Hebrew, right? If I tell my wife, I don't want you to wear that outside this house, some people will look at it and say, oh, you're being a controlling man. No, what I'm doing is this. If my wife wears something that is revealing or a little bit out there, right? She goes out into this environment and these men, they oogle and they coddle and they get all aggressive and they start speaking a certain way. If my wife, if she engages and something happens, guess who she comes to get? Babe, they did XYZ, this and the third. Now, everybody else jumps up, this and the third, and which I will do, but why do you have that on? You gave an energy off that stated, it's okay to do this. I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm telling you is the nature of the individuals. Why would you walk past a group of men to reveal yourself in a certain manner and then question why they respond this way? In the jungle, you don't put a stake around your neck and then run
through the lions. Then
wonder why the lion mauls you. You see, you don't do that. You stay your behind out of that situation. So why are we not teaching and telling our sisters and our women, our wives, look, do not create a scenario or a situation that's going to force me to act in a manner that may jeopardize my life, my freedom, or my ability to be able to protect you further. So as men, because we understand the nature of the beast, we're going to tell our wives, our daughters, the women that we are sworn to protect in our tribe, no, don't say that. No, don't argue with that. Don't tweet that to that man. Don't you argue with this man online. Don't you say this to this grown man. Fall back. It's okay. It's okay. But we for some reason, we've created this independent thinking and this narrative that I don't need you and this, that, and the third, and this whole tough guy swagger that you don't really live, because when the tough shit really happens, you're going to have to go get a man to fix it and to deal with it.
Yeah.
If there's an assault, you call the police. 95% of chance it's going to be a man that shows up. If there's a war, men fight it. If you look at what's going on over there in Ukraine, in Africa, these are men fighting for liberation, men fighting for freedom. When you talk about the liberated movements of the Americas with our tribal brothers and sisters, guess what? These were men fighting these wars. Now,
at the forefront.
to compare yourself in that nature to the women of past, well, guess what? The women of past understood place and position. They understood how to move in structure. They understood how to move in a unit along with the leadership of the men. It didn't mean that their energy was lesser. It didn't mean that their energy was weaker. It meant that their energy had a place and a purpose that served this greater motive, which made them extremely strong. So we have to get back into that natural role so that way we can project honesty and truth. We're not living in truth right now because you have too many uneducated men and women trying to teach on something that they've never experienced, nor do they live. So that's a dangerous individual that teaches that way. Very dangerous.